Let's take a look at these Kamione Gogetas. So we have both variants here. One is a Super Saiyan Gogeta from the Fusion Reborn movie, and the other one is the Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta from Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. So we could see which variant we want to choose out of the two. They both look super sick so far. So they're calling this guy Muay Thai Fighter, and this is Kamione 02A, and this is what the box art looks like. We have a silhouette of the Muay Thai Fighter, nothing on the bottom or the top, and on the sides is just an extension of that Muay Thai Fighter. And that face, it kind of looks like Attack on Titan, and on the back is just a drawing of this Muay Thai Fighter. So the same thing with this box. This is 02B, the Super Saiyan Blue version, and not much going on with this box either. So inside of the boxes here, they pretty much have the same accessories for the most part. So this is what you're gonna get in your clamshells. They just have two different key blast effects. This one comes with a yellow one with kind of like energy spikes hanging off, and then this one is coming with the Stardust effect, or the Stardust blast, however you call it, the special move that he does in the Fusion Reborn. So same set of hands, a lot of different hands here to choose from. They both come with the crossed arms effect, and then the other pieces are to, I think those are to assemble like the Muay Thai Fighter look. So for the Super Saiyan Blue version, you do get another jacket, because there is a jacket in that other box. So this one is like a greenish yellow. I guess you would call it like a greenish yellow, and we'll see the difference between the two colors in a second. But one is wind blown and the other one is just standing still. And then these are the pieces that you attach to the shoulders. So, and then to put these guys all the way together to make them complete. And 02A, it says roof on here. I'm not sure exactly what that stands for, but there's nothing else going on with the accessory boxes. So in these accessory boxes we have, let me open the other one just so we can see. Since there are two variants, we can see which variant we want. So in each of these boxes, we do get an extra head sculpt here. So these two, which is the Super Saiyan, is windswept, and the Super Saiyan Blue is also windswept. And then in total, there are 3 different Super Saiyan heads, 3 different Super Saiyan Blue heads, and then they both come with the same base form head. And they both have the same face plates as far as expressions. It's just in the Super Saiyan color and or the base form or the Super Saiyan Blue. So I'll go ahead and get these guys all put together so that we can see which variant that we would want. This is what you're gonna get for the most part, Muay Thai Fighter. And the color variants are, you know, they're obviously different in each movie. So this is the darker blue, and this one has like the white pants with no shading, like vibrant white. And this one is the lighter blue, and then it has kind of like the off-white pants, but everything else is pretty much the same. The skin tone is the same, and the body mold is the same. I believe the skin tone is the same. It looks slightly different, but I could be seeing things right now, but this is pretty much what it looks like. So I'll put this blue version together before we get into the articulation and things like that. So I kind of like this greenish yellow a little bit better than the full yellow, I guess you can say. And we'll see the differences between the two colors in a second, but pretty much just got to get this jacket on. We get these shoulder pieces on. So inside of these shoulder pieces, there's an L, as you can see there. And then on the other side is going to be an R, just so you can have them in the right spot. So again, this is Kamione Gogeta, and I'll make a comparison between the other Gogetas after we get these guys assembled. So Gogeta Blue is looking sick so far. It also comes with these other shoulder pieces, and that's to swap out this black part in here where the butterfly joint is. But I don't see any reason to do that because we do want the jacket to be an extension in black and not in skin tone color. So that's what those pieces are. And then for Dragon Ball Z Gogeta, we're gonna go ahead and put this head sculpt on here. So there is a difference between the two head sculpts as they come. They're slightly different, if you can tell. The spike right here is a little bit different in the front. Let me zoom in on this. So I thought these head sculpts were exactly the same, but they're not. The spike is a lot bigger, this spike right here, than this spike. And then another difference is this head sculpt is made to put this halo inside. So the Super Saiyan Blue version also comes with a halo, even though he was never he never had a halo on when he was Super Saiyan Blue. So here are the differences between these two head sculpts. It's pretty much the only difference is that spike and then the hole where you insert the halo. So everything else is pretty much the same. And for this one, we'll go ahead and pop on these crossed arms here. So it's easier to pull off these arms if you pull them straight up. This will be Gogeta with crossed arms. Oh, that's not the crossed arm. And I thought these crossed arms would be like a lot harder to put on, but they're not that hard to put on at all. So again, left and right with this assembly. And I think it's cool that they added a crossed arms effect for a Gogeta. I mean, a lot of these figures, for the most part, the figures that we were getting, only Vegeta was getting crossed arms. But now a lot of our figures are getting crossed arms. So here are the differences between the two Gogetas and the color variants. And then we get to see what the crossed arms will look like on the figure. And I think that looks pretty dope. And to catch you know, which variant that you would want. There's no shading in these head sculpts. It would have been a plus if they added shading, but I think the head sculpts and then the likeness of the actual faces, it definitely captures Gogeta's likeness very well. We'll get a different face on this head sculpt here. So we'll get a smirking face on these crossed arms. And I think that looks pretty sick. That looks really sick, actually. Just like that. I think that looks pretty cool. And then the differences between Demoniacal Fit Gogeta and then Kami 1. And at first I was thinking that Demoniacal Fit was the better figure, only because the fact that they added like this extra extension to where you can't really see his skin tone underneath. I really like that they added that. You can see the difference a lot more on here. So when you pull these flaps down, you know, his shoulder is being exposed, as opposed to Demoniacal Fit, the shoulder's not really being exposed much. But the musculature is, I think Kami 1 looks more ripped up and defined. And then Demoniacal Fit is like a little bit thicker, like bulkier of a figure. So they do stand at about the same height. And with Kami 1 is slightly taller. And then, you know, the thickness in the legs are a lot different. The socks are longer on Demoniacal Fit, and then the feet are also bigger on Demoniacal Fit. So the color scheme though, it does match up pretty well, especially for the Dragon Ball Z versions. I think the orange is probably a little bit darker for Kami 1, and it has a little bit more detail in those cushion parts of the jacket. And the blacks are the same. The blues are slightly different, I think, just because of the plastic that they chose. The belt is longer on Kami 1, and then the pants, these pants are going to be different. These pants are a lot closer to the Super Saiyan Blue one, to be honest. And then everything else, it's all preference at the end of the day. I think Kami 1 is a lot better than Demoniacal Fit. But then we can see what the Kami 1 head sculpt would look like on the Demoniacal Fit. This is what I was going to do originally, and it doesn't stay on the Demoniacal Fit, But if you were to put this on the demoniacal fit body, then you can have 2 different versions of Gogeta to kind of set them apart on your shelf. If you wanted to keep your demoniacal fit, you can always put the Kami one on top. You're gonna have to add some plastic in between that so that it can stay. But leave a comment below on which Gogeta you feel looks better than the other one. And the faces, demoniacal fit to Kami 1, and just the hair sculpt in general. I like demoniacal fit because there's a lot more shading, but as far as like what Gogeta looks like, I think Kami 1 did a way better job. They definitely nailed it. I really like the head sculpt and the face plates on that. Even the halo. I mean, nobody really looks at the halos, but maybe demoniacal fit has the better halo. And then for the base form head sculpt, take a look at what that looks like real quick. And I think that looks pretty dope. A lot better, far away from SH Figuarts and their head sculpts and face plates. Here are the differences between Kami 1 and SH Figuarts. And the height, they're not too far off. Like, they're kind of like the same height, maybe slightly taller for Kami 1. They're not as tall as like the trunks that they came out with. So musculature, Kami 1 is killing it. The size of the jacket is smaller on Kami 1, but I think it looks a lot better. Just a brand new mold in general. I mean, look at the face plates and the head sculpts, and definitely like night and day. I think that plays a big part in making these figures look pretty dope. So this color of the jacket is a lot closer to, I think, what he actually looks like in the movie. I think SH Figuarts nailed it with the color, so Kami 1 gives you that option if you want to have this color on here. And then what a lot of people are doing with their Dragon Ball Z Gogeta is they're putting the other jacket on this guy with the Super Saiyan head sculpt. So there'd be a lot of things that you could interchange here. And for this one, you see the differences between the color. I'll put the windswept jacket on this one just to see how it would look. I seen a picture of this combo online and I thought it looked super sick to catch Gogeta when he turned into Super Saiyan during the movie. So here are the differences between the 2 jacket colors, and that's like a huge difference in color. I honestly like this color a lot better, especially for the blue and the overall look of Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. But at the same time, the Super Saiyan version with this yellow jacket, I think it looks pretty sick. So you could probably have both on your shelf. I mean, these blues are definitely a lot different, but if you're gonna put them both on your shelf, we probably won't tell to catch Gogeta in his Super Saiyan form from the Super Broly movie, and then they have him in the Super Saiyan Blue form. I might have mine on my shelf just like this, and then we can see what these windswept head sculpts look like. So windblown with the windblown jacket, and the difference between the 2 jackets, I mean, you could definitely tell more so in the back, not so much in the front, maybe from that angle. But it's cool that they gave you 2 jackets. We haven't had that for a Gogeta. So windswept head with the windswept jacket, and then the straight up head sculpt with the straight up jacket. So I think both look really good. The other difference is the key blast effect. So obviously this one is going to come with the Stardust effect, and it does come with a hand that you can put it in either side. I think in most of the pictures he has it in his left hand, but this is what this effect looks like. I think it looks super sick. It definitely looks like a Stardust key blast effect. I mean, it can't get any better than that for the most part. It's just got the pink and the yellow and the kind of like shimmer to it. Let's also make this that more accurate look. So you want to peel that off and then plug it in the same way, but just plug it in upside down so that way this piece can be on the top. You'll still be able to get away with that. just like that. And I think that looks super sick for a Dragon Ball Z Gogeta. And then for the Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, his Ki Blast effect, we're gonna have to assemble. So it comes with all these little pieces, just like a lot of the effects that we are accustomed to. A lot of them came with the Gokus and like every Goku I think has a Ki Blast effect that you have to put together. So you're simply just plugging these in and just plug them in just like that. And again, I think that looks super sick. It's got the yellow to the silver, and it kind of has like that blast effect with the shine kind of like popping out of his hand. Another dope Ki Blast effect to have. And then for this one, you could kind of get him in any posture. He was mostly like flying with his hands kind of like in a direction like that, coming at Broly. So I think that looks super sick also. So really good accessories for both Gogetas. I mean, it's just the two Ki Blast effects for the most part, but then they have a whole bunch of other accessories that you could swap out and interchange and things like that. Articulation for this guy, he is on a 3.0 neck peg, and these neck pegs are like super squeaky. I haven't oiled anything up yet for this guy, but he still gets really good articulation with that kind of neck peg. Looks down very far. He looks up pretty good until his spikes hit this cushion part on his jacket. Side to side tilt is still the same. It's gonna rub on those parts of his jacket. Reaching up, and these shoulders are also very squeaky. I mean, you can reach up about that far. The butterfly joints work very well also. Like Kamione does a good job with the articulation in their figures. And it's gonna reach in about that far with the jacket on. Reach into the back. Like this figure does need like to be oiled up. I haven't oiled up either figure yet, so reach into the back is pretty good. The bicep swivel works well. Double jointed elbows work good. It also has this swivel here in his forearm, and this part could come off to put the Muay Thai fighter arm on, but I don't see any reason why we should do that. These wrist pegs are pretty solid. I always like to check those on our figures, so that works pretty well. And these are gonna move just like the SH Fig Arts. I'm not the biggest fan of that because it does show a lot, especially when you're getting them in this angle. That's why I say Demoniacal kind of has Kami-1 beat just on this part though. But I mean, that's not too big of a deal. You can always try to hide it. It can be kind of seamless looking if you just cover that part of his shoulder. Side to side tilt, he tilts very well. Crunch forward works really good. Crunch into the back, really good also. This is nice and smooth. He gets slight turn in his upper chest. This is not much. The neck on this guy, probably should have did that first, but it moves up and down slightly, and you can also get some left and right movement out of that as well. Splits to the front and back work really good. These double jointed knees look really good also. This cap is staying on. Splits to the side work well too. And then his belt is just on the swivel, and I like how that's long and kind of like windswept. This butt pad is the softer rubber plastic, so when you're articulating him, you can kind of cuff this little part inside, but it doesn't really hinder anything, which is good. And then at the bottom, this is pretty new. These are also on, it feels like a ball peg, so you get a slight move left and right, and then you get a bit of a hinge, kind of sort of moving up and down for his ankle. And then the ankle rocker is pretty solid going both ways, and then the toe hinge works well. This is also on kind of like a ball peg deal, and then he could kick out pretty far, and then he kicks up pretty good after you tuck that in. So this is a really good figure. Both figures, both aesthetically speaking, and articulation wise, I think this is the better Gogeta figure in my opinion now. Like I said before, I thought that the demoniacal fit would be the better Gogeta at first, and I was just gonna switch out the head sculpt to make that work. But now after having them in hand, in my opinion, I feel like Kami 1 is killing it. I mean, they're also doing a great job with their other figures. We can go ahead and see what this head sculpt would look like on the SH Figuarts body, just because I guess, but and the head doesn't look too big. So if you want to keep your SH Figuarts body and just throw one of these Kami 1 head sculpts on here, you're gonna have to pack it a lot for it to stay on, because that's definitely not gonna stay on at all. But that can also be an option as well, just in case you want to keep your figures on your shelf and you don't really want to get rid of them. I think most of us collectors are like that. We get attached to a lot of these figures, so we don't have to do too many height comparisons here. We can just get this one, and you can kind of see how well it scales with the other figures in your collection. It doesn't stand too far apart from the other Gogetas that have been released already. A lot of us go based off of SH Figuarts height and scale comparison, so you can see where the shoulders are, and I think it'll be okay on your shelf. So my overall thoughts on this Kami 1 Gogeta, I think it's a hell of a figure. I mean, 10 out of 10. Articulation, aesthetic look for both. It doesn't matter which one you get, or if you're gonna get both, you can swap them out with the jackets and things like that. And I think they both look good. The amount of accessories that it comes with, so many hands, so many head sculpts, and then you get the blast effects, 2 jackets, all that good stuff. So again, I got mine from El Surprise Wholesale Toy Store. That's another market on AliExpress. It went for around $85 each. You can get this guy in a bundle pack also. It'll probably be like $164, somewhere around there. But I would say do not miss out on this Kami 1 Gogeta. It's a really dope figure to add to your collection, 3.0, and it definitely pops out on the shelf. So if you feel like this video was helpful, you can go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to keep an eye out for my next videos to come, go ahead and subscribe. Until then, thank you for watching.